joining us. Today we're going to talk about, can you choose your own doctor to treat your on-the-job injury? It's a question we get asked a lot, and I think first off, to let you know, the answer is generally no. However, there are some legal maneuvering tactics that we can help you with that might be able to get you to see your own doctor. The general takeaway, though, is that generally you cannot see your own doctor. You want to think of it as in-network, okay? So if you have your own personal health insurance, you have to go to the doctors that are designated by that health insurance as being in-network. The same is true for work comp. The employer gets to designate doctors with whom you can seek treatment from, and those doctors are considered to be kind of in-network for work comp. So Matt will tell you about how to get that treatment.
Yeah, how does this work? Okay, so hopefully you watched our prior video on reporting the injury, and if you did, you've written a statement about how you got hurt, dated it, signed it, submitted it to your supervisor. Your supervisor at that point is supposed to give you a designated provider list. It's a literal piece of paper that has 4 different medical providers on it. Okay, they're supposed to give that to you within 7 days of the reporting of the injury. Now what happens sometimes, a little trick that happens that they do, and when I say they, meaning your employer, is sometimes they will put this designated provider list in your initial employee policy packet, something along those lines, something that you may not have even known that's in there, so do be on the lookout for that. However, this is key. If the employer, and this is also why it's so important to notify in writing, that we can verify a date that you gave that to your employer. If you give that to your employer and the employer does not provide this designated provider list within 7 days, then you do get to select your own doctor.
That's a huge deal. I mean, to stress the importance, I don't even know if I can stress the importance of that enough. You're talking about doctors who are selected by your employer, and you're going to those doctors to get treatment for your injury. If you have the right to go to a doctor that you select, that you trust, the entire course of your treatment, the entire course of your claim can be different. And also, I know Matt will agree with me on this and talk about this, on that list there's 4 providers. Okay, so those different doctors and those different clinics are going to have different reputations in terms of,
Yes.
Do they give good treatment? Will they listen to the injured worker? How are they on return to work issues? So those doctors have, I would say, reputations that you need to be aware of, that an attorney can help you with navigate that process.
So Eric and I are experienced in work comp, so we deal with these doctors, these same medical providers all the time. So we can advise you on which one maybe to select if you contact us early enough at the beginning of the process. However, if you select a doctor and you start treating with that doctor and you do not like that doctor and would like to switch to one of the other providers on the list, you can do so, but there is a deadline, and the deadline begins ticking from the minute you report the injury on. So do not delay, because oftentimes clients will contact us, the deadline is passed, the injured worker is unaware of that deadline, and they want to know, can I switch doctors at this point? And the answer is probably not, okay? But if you fall within the timeline, which is 90 days, from the date of injury, if you fall within that deadline, then you can, but you have to make this request on specified forms. So contact us, we can help you out with that entire process.
Trusting your doctor to treat your injury is one of the most important things that can happen throughout a work comp case. So don't take that decision lightly, and call us if you need help.
Thank you.
Thanks.